Dodge should never have decided to reintroduce a coveted name on a base sedan. The shortest-lived fifth-generation Dodge Dart sedan would prove to be the company's most uninspired offering in recent memory. We are not at all surprised by this since the car has a history of powertrain problems regardless of the configuration you choose. Contrary to what statistics might suggest, the Dodge Dart failed to prove its worth in a segment that essentially prioritizes dependability and robustness, which ultimately proved to be the final nail in its coffin. There are lots of issues on the car complaints website related to the 2016 Dodge Dart sedan. 4 recalls and 303 owners' complaints. In a segment reigned by cars like the Toyota Corolla, the Honda Civic, and the Chevrolet Cruze, half-baked products usually find a tough time. So should you be even buying the 2016 Dodge Dart? Let's find out. It's the Car Problems YouTube channel. Subscribe and let's get started. Engine problems. 2 common engine problems on the 2016 Dodge Dart are random engine stalls with an engine malfunction indicator and excessive oil consumption. Low oil pressure caused by the engine oil's quick drying is what causes the stalling issues that owners experience. Just 1,000 miles after a fill-up, the oil levels are said to have decreased by 1/3 of their maximum level. Trims with 1.4 liters turbo engines are also more likely to experience shaft and turbo oil seal failures, which typically necessitate a replacement. Transmission problems. Owners of the 2016 Dodge Dart have complained about the transmission getting stuck in a particular gear or making it impossible for the driver to shift into any other gear. A shifter cable that had come loose from the transmission was what caused this fairly widespread problem. The following year, Dodge did start a recall and replace the shifter cables in all transmissions where the fault was found. Clutch problems are another thing to watch out for on trims with the 6-speed manual transmission. Service brake issues. Some problems with the 2016 Dodge Dart include pulsating sensation when braking, a stuck caliper, and rusty brake discs. The common causes of the aforementioned complaints are brake booster problems, component rust, and disc runout. At as low as 10,000 miles, failures are noted. Blower motor complaints. On the 2016 Dodge Dart, the AC blower motor is a frequent point of failure. This is one of the most frequent issues that owners of this sedan encounter, despite the fact that NHTSA has not received many reports of it. Unintentional variations in blower speeds are one of the failure symptoms. The issue can be resolved by replacing the malfunctioning blower resistor, which can be done at the owner's expense. Starting issues. The factory battery on the 2016 Dodge Dart does drain prematurely. Several owners have noticed starting troubles along with the battery warning light flashing. A faulty alternator and low charging voltages are also pretty common on the Dart sedan, which pretty much required an alternator replacement. Suspension noise. Poor suspension mounts and bushings are hallmarks of the 2016 Dodge Dart. These parts do degrade fairly quickly, which leads to a bumpy ride, noise, and a loss of steering control. Failures have been reported as early as 35,000 miles. Airbags. The 2016 Dodge Dart has airbag lights that occasionally flash and warn of the service airbag system. The main cause of this problem is an open-circuit passenger seatbelt sensor. Although there are no visible physical damages to the wiring harness, this issue is frequently resolved by replacing the sensor. Recalls. There are 4 active recalls related to 2016 Dodge Dart. The risk of an accident may increase if the shifter cable bushing fails to allow the shift cable to separate from the transmission, causing the car to move unintentionally or fail to remain stationary in park mode. The risk of injury in the event of a fire is increased by a clogged fire extinguisher, which prevents it from discharging as expected or requires too much force to activate. The windshield wiper circuit may malfunction as a result of voltage spikes brought on by a problem with the windshield washer pump, reducing driver visibility and elevating the risk of an accident. A backup layer of software may not be present in the powertrain control module that monitors engine torque output. If this happens, an uncommanded torque event may occur, increasing the risk of a collision. Should you buy? It makes no sense to recommend a car that hasn't been on the market for a while, especially if its reliability record for the powertrain and drivetrain has been rocky. Unfortunately, the Dodge Dart sedan is not one of the vehicles that the majority of people who investigate this segment would look out for. Even if you manage to find one for a good price, it's likely that you won't be able to find parts for a car that has been discontinued, especially with the pandemic having a negative impact on production and part distribution. Currently, we don't recommend the 2016 Dodge Dart and instead advise getting a Toyota Corolla or Honda Civic for a better overall driving experience.